Today, we're gonna be finding out Godzilla's stats. So I'm not gonna like make them off the top of my head. I'm gonna like research the stuff and whatever. As I'm recording right now with James over here, I actually don't know anything. Like, I have no idea. Not only that actually, but I'm going to figure out how big it would be in Creatures of Sonaria. Now I'm gonna make a guess real quick and we'll see if my guess is correct. But I would say half the volcano. And you guys can see that now. Thank you, game. Very convenient for my viewers. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this because they're actually going to add Godzilla after I make this video. Nah, I'm just playing. But sorry. Alright, it's time to stop yapping. Here's where we're gonna be writing the stats of Godzilla. And I'm going to actually scientifically research this stuff. Like, I'm not just gonna do them. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab everything. So first of all, we got the tier and the diet and the type, which are these three things over here. So, the tier, I think Godzilla would, I don't know, it would definitely be either tier 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm not sure though. Nah, but for real though, Godzilla probably, I think it would be so strong that it wouldn't even be in tier 5. Like, if it was actually added, they would make it a tier 6. So, I don't know, should I make it tier 6? Because it would be like 10 times stronger than Korthos or something. Nah, let's just make it 5, because Creatures of Sonaria keeps adding the strongest super behemoths ever and not making a new tier whatsoever. Even though there's Gyrotus and Caldonteris in the same tier, which is crazy to me. But the diet, I don't know if Godzilla eats plants, but let's find out. What is Godzilla's diet? Godzilla's diet remains a mystery, but fans speculate he's an omnivore. They don't even know. What? They don't even know what Godzilla eats? Okay, it says Godzilla does not need to eat to survive. Okay, that's actually awesome. So, apparently Godzilla actually feeds off of radiation, which means, yeah, he doesn't need food to survive. But I just searched up what a photovore is, and it's something that feeds off of the sun. But it doesn't do that. There's no word for something that feeds off of radiation. But in the game, it's not like the creatures actually need the sun to survive. They just have no hunger bar. So we can definitely just call it a photovore. Because yeah, it would be the same thing. No hunger bar and a water bar. The type, definitely semi-aquatic. I know this. Unless it can fly. Bruh. Can Godzilla fly? Oh, what? Wait. Okay. He can fly using that weird atomic breath thing. But he can't actually fly. And it's only been seen in one film. So yeah, no flying. Alright, now we're getting to the juicy parts. We want to find out the health. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit difficult, but I did make a video before on how big the tier 5s are in real life, and I think if we compare it and do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so Caldonteris, the biggest creature in the game, is 147 feet tall, alright? And if we... 393 feet tall now in 2024. So he is literally almost 3 times the height of Caldonteris. Yeah, I didn't know Godzilla would be that big though in Creatures of Sonaria. So this is my elder Caldonteris standing beside the volcano over here. And I think Caldonteris is 20% of the volcano, I'm not sure. But yeah, 3 Caldonteris or 2.6 Caldonteris, that would reach man, oh my god, Godzilla's head. I actually calculated it by stacking Caldonteris, and 2.6 times the Caldonteris' height would end right about here, at this ridge, in the middle of this ridge over here. So this is where... if I could just find this level, is where Godzilla's head would be in Creatures of Sonaria. It's awesome. You can pretty much see all of it. But yeah, it's so big. What would tier 1s be like? I am still on the same level as that ridge, and I just need to fly in a straight line. I am traveling as Godzilla right now. This is actually accurately the height of Godzilla, something around here. Not further than 10 meters from this, so yeah, it's not perfectly accurate, obviously. Did you guys think Godzilla would be bigger than this or smaller than this? I'm still flying on the height of Godzilla. Man, imagine latching onto Godzilla and you're all the way up here. So here's a little different notepad, it's empty. I'm gonna do my research on here, right? If we grab the 2 tallest creatures in Creatures of Sonaria, they are, yeah, 150 feet tall and they have 12 to 14k HP. Godzilla is 2.6 times taller than them. So the amount of health Godzilla would have based on other creatures would be pretty much the average. So this much multiplied by 2.6. This is the amount of health a creature as tall as Godzilla would have in Creatures of Sonaria. Do you guys think this is too low or too high? I don't know. Yeah, but based on size, this should be the health of the Godzilla. Size doesn't always determine the health though. It's about how tanky or how rocky it is or how thick the skin is. And something about Godzilla that you guys do not know is that... okay, that's a bad image, but that's also a bad image. The Godzilla has extremely thick skin. I searched it up here and it cannot get attacked. Nothing can harm the Godzilla. But yeah, it can be burned apparently. So we're definitely not gonna give it 100% burn block. But it can't be pierced. So we know what it's gonna block. So I'm debating whether that should increase its health or if that should increase like the block stuff. But let's just increase it by 500 to make the number even, in because Godzilla has such thick skin. It should have more health for sure than something like the Boreal Warden's skin. Now let's find out the health regen of Godzilla. We will find out here that it can actually heal damaged or destroyed organs in just a matter of seconds, and this is true. It has like very quick recovery. That is an ability we can give it as well. So we can do 20%. And you guys might think this is low, but no. If it has like 50%, that means it can heal half its body in a second, in like a few seconds, which is just not true. Only like a couple organs every few seconds. So yeah, definitely 20%, like the Vahyaks. Now the damage, that's a big one. I really don't know. It's definitely gonna do a lot more with the crazy amount of abilities I'm guessing I'm gonna give it, but... So Godzilla's capable of destroying massive structures and picking up and throwing objects weighing 30,000 tons, and that's crazy. But I think that's more weight related than damage. I think the damage on the Godzilla would just be like what it can do with its mouth and arms, like scratching or biting. And I know its bite is insane, but it's all like weight related. Like it only has a strong bite because it's ginormous. Okay, I know a good way of finding Godzilla's damage actually. If we go on the Creatures of Sonaria creatures, we will see that the creatures that weigh so much, they don't even deal like a lot of damage, even though with Caldonterus' weight it would do so much damage with its arms, right? But no, small creatures deal the same amount of damage as big creatures. The only difference is the weight. Like if we grab Polymonstrum, which is a tier 4, it deals like 3 times the Caldonterus. So believe it or not, Godzilla's damage actually wouldn't be a lot if it was in Creatures of Sonaria, because it's not about size. With Godzilla's arms and mouth, I think it would have a good 350 damage, honestly. This isn't 100% accurate, this is Elasmo. Like, this is Elasmo opinion, this part. The Godzilla doesn't look like something with crazy claws like this or something. It's just... it has some claws, so yeah, 350. Now the stamina. And just for reference, Caldonterus has 55 stamina, Boreal 50. Yeah, they all have something in the range of the 50s, the tier 5s. Yeah, so I did like 10 minutes research. I asked like ChatGPT and everything to search for me how long can Godzilla run for before getting tired. But it's actually a mystery. Like, we've never seen him get tired, and if we do, it's just because of some reasons, like he got attacked or something, I don't know. But yeah, there's no way of telling the stamina, so we're gonna have to do this the Creatures of Sonaria way. I think the stamina is a lot like about the weight. So the more a creature weighs, the less stamina it has actually. And we will find that this is true with like 90% of the creatures. Not all of them, but Cavroatus 60 stamina, Caldonterus 55, Boreal 50. They're all 50 to 60. As we said earlier, the average of the creatures that are 2.6 times less. So Godzilla is 2.6 times the size of the creatures that have 50 to 60 stamina. So 55 average divided by 2.6. Ooh, it wouldn't have a lot of stamina. 21 would be Godzilla's stamina if it was in Creatures of Sonaria. Man, that's low. It would get tired quickly for sure. But obviously this doesn't apply to every creature. Like, there are some big creatures who still have a lot of stamina. And because we're talking about Godzilla, which has like quick recovery and it can like recover everything using a little bit of radiation, I think we can give it a good 40 stamina. Yeah, this 40 stamina would be realistic to Creatures of Sonaria, but not realistic to real life, because real life it would be like 1000 or something. I don't know. Godzilla is crazy. But yeah, now the growth time, I don't know if this is important, but Boreal has 1 hour 40 minutes, Caldonterus 2 hour 20 minutes. We can just say 4 hours or like 5 hours. Man, that would actually be a super long growth time. Yeah, but let's say you would take 4 hours and 30 minutes to grow this creature. Now the weight, man, this is what's gonna make Godzilla really overpowered, and we're gonna calculate. This is pretty easy to find out. It's everywhere over Google, but to get the best answer, I asked my thingy over here, and 300 million pounds. Yeah. This right away proves that Creatures of Sonaria weights are not realistic. This thing weighs 42,000 pounds, when something only twice as big as it weighs 300 million. Guys, this car over here, it weighs 5,000 pounds. So, Caldonterus divided by 5,000. Caldonterus only weighs 8 cars. Like, it's so underweighted. I don't know if that's a word. 8 this cars equal this ginormous thing. If you guys are like, well, yeah, 8 cars are huge. No, 1 car would actually be like up here. So yeah, it being the weight of like 8 of these cars that are like all the way over here, it's just crazy. Anyway, in Creatures of Sonaria, this would look like... pounds. Anyway, the speed. You might think that Godzilla's slow, but no, it's actually really, really fast. Which, there's a problem with this. Godzilla in real life would be extremely fast, like 300 miles per hour or something crazy. Like, yeah, definitely faster than like all the tier 1s. And the problem here is that in Creatures of Sonaria, it's the opposite. The big creatures are slower than the small ones. But in real life, the big creatures are smaller than the small ones. I don't know if you guys get it. In reality, the sprint of Godzilla would be something like 300 or 400. Yeah, I don't think we can do this. We can do that sprint. We definitely can't. That would look so crazy in the game anyway. It's just the realistic one. So based on the creatures and Creatures of Sonaria, all the tier 5s that are like the size of this have 30 to 35. And yeah, Godzilla's speed would definitely be something like 15. And maybe like a 12 walk. Yeah, that's so slow, man. Comment down below, do you guys think you would be able to survive a 1v1 against Godzilla in real life? But yeah, I think I would be able to beat him in a real life fight. Like, I'm pretty sure if I just poke his eye, he's gonna like start crying. Yeah. This is the biggest part of the video. The abilities. Let's ask our handy guy over here, and let's hope there are not too many abilities. Maybe there, I don't know. Let's just find out. Alright, that's one. Alright, that's two. Alright. Alright. Oh. Yeah, Godzilla has a lot of abilities. But of course, we can't add anything that isn't in Creatures of Sonaria. But yeah, we can begin with Agile Swimmer. Definitely gonna have that. I'm pretty sure Godzilla is like mostly aquatic anyway. And we do know that it swims much faster than land. So it is Godzilla's first ability. I hope he is happy. And right after it, we have Berserk. I don't know if this takes anything from you. I think it stops stamina, but you gain increased attack speed. And if you guys watch Godzilla, you would know that he can turn into a crazy fire Godzilla and get super angry. And we don't have that in the game, so definitely it's gonna have Berserk. Oh, I'm pretty sure it happens when it's really low, which actually matches the Godzilla, because I'm pretty sure when he almost died, he became Berserk. So yeah, it's gonna gain increased attack whenever it's low. That is Godzilla's second ability. If we search it up, Godzilla can actually deal bleed attack as well. Yeah, it's bled a lot of stuff before, but how much bleed? We gotta decide. The only way Godzilla can deal bleed though is biting and scratching. So it's not a crazy way of dealing bleed. So we can definitely say something like, 2 per attack is fine, or 3 actually. Yeah, no, wait, I'm pretty sure in Creatures of Sonaria, it can't even bite or scratch anything. Everything in Creatures of Sonaria would be below its arms. It would always stomp. 1.5 bleed attack, because it can still like, yeah, I don't know, it depends on how it fights. Alright, here we go with the block stuff. This is, so Godzilla has actually bled before, so it can definitely bleed. But it does block most of the bleed because it has like metal thick skin. Only like certain things can bleed it. Yeah, we can definitely give it a 90%. Block bleed. That would be actually realistic. And then block burn. It is actually proven that Godzilla can be burned, and it's not even that difficult, but it definitely still blocks some of it, so 30% block burn. Yeah, the meta to kill Godzilla's in Creatures of Sonaria would definitely be burning them. I think it's prone to that. Believe it or not, Godzilla actually does get frostbit. And when the Ice Titan attacked Godzilla, and I have no idea what all that stuff is, but yeah, Godzilla has been frozen before through its face and neck. We can give it a good 30% block frostbite, whatever. Alright, block injury, I think it's 100%, because apparently, it has perfect regeneration, and it can recover from any injury like instantly, so it's immortal in terms of physical damage. Yeah, 100% block injury. Man, this is already a lot of passive abilities, but it's Godzilla, so. Oh, by the way, I don't know if Necropoison is like a real thing. I couldn't find it online. You can't like directly do status effects like poison and whatever to Godzilla in real life, but you can attack him in localized areas. You guys don't know what that means, but that means things like his gills. Like if you like attack him from the inside of some places in his body, he can get Necropoison because you're basically just biting into his flesh with Necropoison. So yeah, definitely would work, but not too much. Let's give it a good 60, 70, 70%. By the way, this is all like Elasmo. I can't make this realistically, but I'm making it as close as possible. Ooh, Necropoison would go crazy against Godzilla, because it wouldn't be able to use all the crazy abilities it would have. Alright, same exact thing as Necropoison. It's immune to poison, but that's just because it has thick skin. Again, if you attack in certain places. Okay, I can't type. Oh my. Alright, another 70% block poison. If you attack him in certain places, he can still get poisoned. Breath resistance, I feel like it would be 100%. Because yeah, breath wouldn't be like biting in certain areas. It would just be a breath on its skin. Definitely doing nothing. A good 100%. Oh, it's bold as well. I'm gonna separate all the block stuff because it's so overwhelming. Yeah, wouldn't have climber, wouldn't have all these stuff. I just discovered something very interesting actually. Godzilla's blood is radioactive. So it would deal defensive corrosion because radiation like it deals corrosion. And yeah, whenever you bite Godzilla you would weigh less. But the thing is that like none of the creatures are gonna be able to make it through its skin. So would it deal to radiation or not? Only if it bleeds. And it blocks 90%, I don't know. And it's very complicated, but it's still a radioactive creature. We're definitely gonna give it 2 defensive corrosion. Quick recovery, which boosts its health regeneration, definitely. Actually gonna add it all the way over here, because I want to put all the abilities like together. Then there's Unbreakable, and Godzilla has to have Unbreakable. Unbreakable makes it immune to injury and bleed. If we check the stats, it is already like pretty much immune to injury and bleed. It has bled before, man, I don't know. I mean, if we were being realistic, it would be possible to crack Gavroadis' shell, and it would also like get injured and whatever. So why wouldn't Godzilla be unbreakable in the game? If Gavroadis is, definitely would have it. I'm sorry guys. Yeah, it 100% blocks bleed now. Godzilla is not immune to lava. It is not a warden. And, will to live? No, Godzilla wouldn't have this. Wing Shredder. With Godzilla's teeth and sharp claws, definitely can shred some wings like how Korthos can. We're gonna give it a good one. Wait, I'm gonna do this here. One shredded winger. I don't know what it's called. Right, and all of that is just the passive abilities. Let me just put them all together. These are the passive abilities Godzilla would have in Creatures of Sonaria. What the heck? It's crazy. Alright, active abilities. They're actually not too much in the game, so I think we're gonna be able to do this well. Godzilla can definitely ambush, and I think that would give it like maybe 30 speed instead. Yeah, it would still be so slow though, but it would give it... Yeah, we're gonna give it ambush. Still slower than every creature in the game, even with ambush, so I don't know how it's gonna help it, but... Breath. We just gotta figure out which breath Godzilla would actually have. In this scene here, you can see Godzilla doing breath at Muto, I'm pretty sure. So Godzilla's breath is actually made of radiation. Now you are gonna ask, how can you just like make a beam out of radiation? It's because it's actually water, which is weird. But apparently, it's actually like water that's charged with radiation. It's actually water charged with radiation. So yeah, that's why it looks like that. Here are the breaths of Sonaria. Believe it or not, there's no Godzilla beam in Creatures of Sonaria. I mean, yeah, that's obvious. But there is acid breath, and then there's water breath. And Godzilla's breath is made up of water breath and acid breath combined. So how do we do this? It's one or the other, but I'm not gonna say Godzilla just throws water out of its mouth. I mean, no. It throws like radioactive water. And what it does is throws acid and it would deal corrosion. So I think the most realistic one is acid breath. Anyway, we've gone through all of these and now we're at Cause Fear. And Godzilla is very menacing. And maybe because of its size it can cause fear, but I don't see Caldonteris having the cause fear, even though Caldonteris in real life would be terrifying. So yeah, I don't think we should give it that. And Dart, Godzilla has HR Swimmer. I think like nearly every creature has Dart that can like swim and has HR Swimmer, like Cavroadis. So yeah, we're gonna give it a Dart actually. That would be terrifying. Oh, these are the abilities so far. The ones you can actually press. Dazzling Flash, definitely not. Drowsy Area, no. Earthquake, ooh, maybe. Now, whenever Godzilla moves in the movies, it actually creates like huge pressure in the ground that I'm pretty sure sometimes causes it to shake. Lamakosaurodon in the game being able to cause an earthquake with its legs, which are like 10 times smaller than Godzilla's. Godzilla would do Earthquake in Creatures of Sonaria. Alright, it already has a lot of abilities, but yeah, it's gonna keep getting more because... Fortify, it would have Fortify for sure. It can like heal any part of its body, as we already said, so yeah. Oh, nah though, that would make it so overpowered. Like, the only way of beating Godzilla was like burning it to death in Creatures of Sonaria, but if it could just use Fortify... Who cares, it's Godzilla, it can do like anything. Now, all of these Godzilla wouldn't have. Life Leech, no. Mud Pile, no. But Radiation, yes, I think, I don't know, let's find out. For those of you who don't know, you can like toggle this radiation ability with some creatures and anything standing around you or near you gets corrosion. And apparently, some versions of Godzilla can actually make radiation with an entire area around him which poses risk, blah blah blah. So yeah, definitely causes radiation. He can emit radiation to anything, like even to his mouth, which is the breath. All these things it would not have, but tail whip definitely would have. I've seen a tail whip in the movies before. And how much damage does the tail whip do? It deals 350 normal, and its tail is extremely strong. But I don't think it's stronger than its mouth and claws, but it's still so big, so let's just say 300. And now these are the abilities that are left. And yeah, none of these. So is that it? Are these Godzilla's final abilities? Let's review the stats together real quick. But something seems off with this list. And it's that the weight is made to exactly like replicate real life, but the health isn't, and the damage isn't. The damage and the health are done based on the game. So how do I fix this? I don't know what to do. Let's say they were actually adding Godzilla to Creatures of Sonaria. The weight they would make Godzilla, if it was actually like a tier 6 in Creatures of Sonaria, something like 120,000. This is the Creatures of Sonaria weight. This is a video about Creatures of Sonaria. So these are the stats it would have realistically in the game. A lot of people are going like, Godzilla would be unstoppable in Creatures of Sonaria because it will have 300 million weight. But no guys, it wouldn't if it was actually in Creatures of Sonaria. They just wouldn't make it like that. They would make it based on the other creatures to balance the game out. So that's how it would be. So, I arranged the stats list to look exactly like what it would look like in the game. So here it is. And these are the primary stats all together over here. And this is what it would look like in the game. And here are all the passive effects. And finally, the buttons it has, the active abilities. So yeah, me personally, I thought Godzilla was actually going to be a little bit stronger than this, but it was nerfed a lot just because it's Creatures of Sonaria and it has to be a little bit balanced. If you guys want more research stats videos like these on creatures that are never going to be added to Creatures of Sonaria, then subscribe, because I can do things like elephants even, like I don't know.